Okay, we're now ready to discuss to the next topic, which is all about infinite limits. So let us start with the theorem. The theorem states that if r is a positive integer, can you see my screen, class? Makita akong screen? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. If r is a positive integer, then the limit of 1 over x to the r, where x approaches to 0 from the right-hand side, one-sided limit, is equal to positive infinity. Okay? If you can see of this form wherein this point is 0 from the right-hand side of that 0, automatically the answer is positive infinity. And if you have limit of 1 over x to the r as x approaches to 0 from the left-hand side, then it will vary on what is the parity of that r. If you will say parity, the characteristic of an integer, whether it is an odd or an even. If r is odd, then the answer of this is negative infinity. And if r is even, then the answer is positive infinity. Example, kung naakay limit of 1 x over x to the 10 as x approaches to 0 from the left-hand side, say answer, kung 10 ang r. Feel free to unmute your microphone. Tago. Kung nado yung nani tago, say answer tago. Limit of 1 over x to the 10. Say x approaches to 0 from the left-hand side. Say answer? Tago? Mariel? Yes, Mariel.
Wait lang sir kay galibog ko gamay.
Okay. Ayang giingon, kung kani daw ang r even, ang answer positive infinity. Kung ang r is odd, negative infinity. So it means ang answer diri is positive infinity or negative infinity?
Positive.
Very
Positive
good.
infinity.
Because 10 is even, right? So it should be positive infinity. Clear?
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
ha? Okay. How about I will ask you to answer this one. Si answer ani? Letter A. Limit of 1 over x to the 6 as x approaches to 0 from the right-hand side. Kung right-hand side gani class, automatic. Wala na yung pangutana. Ang answer is?
Positive infinity.
Positive infinity.
Positive, sir.
Kung right-hand side ni 0. Kung left-hand side ni 0, ay haratong tanaw nimo ang parity ni R. Okay, what's the answer here?
Negative infinity, sir.
Negative infinity, sir.
Negative infinity.
Negative.
Why negative infinity?
Ang R kay odd, sir.
Odd, sir.
Right-hand side mo na.
Positive,
Right-hand
sir.
side. It should be this one, right?
Positive sir.
Positive
Yes,
infinity.
sir.
Gamiton lang ninyo kung left-hand side. Sabta ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes sir.
Here, what's the answer? Okay,
Negative
left-hand side man.
Negative infinity,
Negative
sir.
infinity.
And
Negative.
13 is odd. So the answer should be negative infinity. Ano ka sa yun? Okay? Next, here, what's the answer?
Positive, sir. Positive.
Positive infinity. Okay, left-hand side, yeah, even. So the answer should be positive infinity. Clear? Sisiw? Let's atong i-level gamay ang difficulty. Now, let's have another theorem stating that if a is a real number, or any real number, and if the limit of g of x as x approaches to a is equal to 0, and the limit of f of x as x approaches to a is equal to c, or any constant not equal to 0, then the following will hold. Actually, this theorem will work if you have limit of f of x over g of x as x approaches to a. Okay? So, kung inyong kuhaon ang limit aning nasa numerator, if you get the limit of the numerator, and if the answer is a constant over a 0, if that is the result, then what you're gonna be doing is you have to consider the following conditions. Okay. The first condition is this. Okay, the first thing that you're going to do is you consider if your C is positive. If your C is positive, then you consider now kung asa mo padulong ang imong g of x. It's either positive value of g of x or negative value of g of x. At nang i-discuss unya sa una pag-determine later. If this condition will hold, then your answer is positive infinity. And if this condition will hold, then your answer is negative infinity. The third and the fourth.
I-type din ang pangalan nila dahil. Legit,
Mute sa Jetro. Okay. So now, if C is less than 0 or negative, then you should consider these two cases. And if your g of x approaches to 0 through positive values of g of x, it is negative infinity. But if g of x approaches to 0 from the negative values of g of x, that will be positive infinity. Let us have an example. Okay. Let us have it here. Okay, here. If you look at it here, this is your f of x and this is your g of x. Yes, Mikaela? Any concern, Mikaela? Marvin? Okay, so this is your f of x. So what you're gonna be doing is you are going to get the limit of the above. What is the limit above now? Can you tell me? Okay, say makaingon maka-student sa ko, can say answer sa limit sa
7, sir.
babaw.
7, sir.
7, sir.
Yes, very
7.
good. It is 7. How about in the denominator?
0.
0,
sir.
So in this case, kabalutang nga answer is infinite limits because a constant over a 0. Now, sa himuon, as we all know, and it is very clear that our C here is the answer in the limit of the numerator, which is 7, right? Your C is 7. Oops, ano na to? Your C is 7 and C is greater than 0. If that is greater than 0, then it is either case number 1 or case number 2. Kuha ninyo? Because the case 3 and 4 will only hold if your C is negative. But this time your C is positive. Okay? Nasabtan, class? Uy, nasabtan?
Yes, sir. Sabtan
Okay,
na, sir.
now,
Yes, sir.
ang problema na to, unsa ba? Is it case 1 or case 2? So what you're gonna be doing is, tanaw ni mo ni nga portion, kanang denominator. You have x squared minus 2x. So gingon diri, x approaches to 2 from the right-hand side. Kung mayong kag right-hand side ni 2, if this is 2, unsa ka nga number ang nasa right-hand side ni 2? We can get any number, say 3. Or you may get 4. Or you may get 2.5. Imong i-substitute diri sa imong function sa denominator. Kuha? Say let us select 3. This is just for testing purposes. So you just have to replace it by 3 squared minus 2 times 3. But see to it that the number that you substitute in your function here should be exactly here. X approaches to 2 from the right-hand side. Okay? Right-hand side of 2. So in this case, ang answer there is 9 minus 6, and this is 3. And 3 is positive, right? Greater than 0. Agree?
Yes, sir.
So, it is positive. It's either case 2 or 1 or 2. Now, sige gamiton, case 1 or 2?
Case 1 siguro, sir.
Case
Case
1. Very good. Case 1. Anong case 1 man? Sige mo sa case 1. Ato ni Iris tanan ha. Sige mo sa case 1, kung kini positive, your g of x approaches to 0 through positive values. Positive man to ganina no, kay 3 man, greater than 0. So in that case, your answer is positive infinity. Clear?
Yes.
Klaro?
Yes, sir.
So your answer here should be positive infinity. Okay? Okay. I'll give you some. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to answer letter B. Okay? And can you tell me what is your answer? Oh, if mahuman na ka, kindly write here in this portion kung sa inyong answer. You can annotate.
Ay, sir, pwede i-call lang, sir. I-annotate lang ako. Ay,
Sure,
kanang
sure.
istorya lang ako, sir, kay cellphone na mo daw gamit.
Sige, istorya lang ako isulat kung nakay-answer.
Kuan, sir, 5, positive 5 over 0.
Ang final lang answer, positive infinity or
Ay, ang
negative
final
infinity?
answer?
Yes.
5 is greater than 0. Positive infinity, sir.
Si Marv, the answer of Marv is positive infinity. Okay, how about the rest? What is your answer? Just feel free to unmute your microphone if you have your answer.
Ay, feeling naman, sir, kay wrong. Kay left hand side mo day ang 1.
So, sa answer ni mo, Marv?
Negative infinity.
So, it's negative infinity. So, let's
Yes, sir.
so it is negative infinity. How about the rest? What is your answer?
Negative infinity.
Negative infinity, sir.
So you agree with the answer of Marv. Okay. Anyone who can explain why your answer is negative infinity?
Naman si Banis. Pagbuhat ang Banis. Saan sa Banis? Nag-on-mic mo?
Wala man. Yes. Anyone? Jetro, you want to explain your answer?
Sir. Ang 5 na to, sir, kay ang constant na to, sir, kay 1 times negative 5. So negative 5 itong C, sir. So
your C
0
is equal to negative 5. So it is less than 0, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's
Yes,
either
sir.
case 3 or case 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Dayon, why?
Then mag-try ta og numbers, sir, nga to the left hand side, sir, kay negative 1, sir. So
Left
any
hand
value,
side
sir, like
of 1.
0.5. Oh, yes, sir. 0.5, sir.
You may also choose 0, right?
Yes,
Left
sir.
hand side
Pwede
man na
po, sir.
ni 1. Para dali katong mga whole number inyong pilion, right?
Yes, sir.
So that
Yes, sir.
1 minus 0, right?
Yes, sir. Sir.
X is 0. So it will be positive, right? Actually, if you get any number from the left-hand side of 1, it will always be positive. Agree? So, sa nga case gamiton, Dennis? Case 3 or 4?
Pwede ba tanaw balik, sir? Kay
Case 3 or 4?
Case 3, sir. May positive values, sir.
Tayo naman siya kung anong class. Pariha naman siya sa idea sa integers. Negative, positive. So, the answer is negative infinity. Ano lang, yung idea? Kuha ninyo? Negative ang C. Right-hand side. Positive values of g of x. So, that is negative infinity. Clear? Okay? Sabtan? So, the answer here should be negative infinity. Right? Case number 3, no? 3 na, no? So, it is negative infinity. Okay. Okay, kindly try letter C. Go. Kindly tell me what is your answer. So, ang nag-answer so far si Marv and Dennis. Sila points daan today. Go. Anyone?
Positive infinity, sir. Hello.
Dili siya gyapon negative,
Isa
sir.
to si tingog? Ganyan mong babae?
Sir, ako, sir.
Si
Han Ontiveros, sir.
Hontiveros. What's your answer, Hontiveros?
Positive infinity, sir.
Positive infinity. The answer of Hannah is positive infinity. Isa to isa kaganina, tingog kaganina. Si
Ako, sir.
Marv. What's your answer, Marv?
Negative infinity.
Negative infinity. How about the rest? What's your answer? How many favor? Kang Hannah or kang Marv? Hindi mo sila answer, no? Duha man yung possible answer diri. It's either positive infinity or negative infinity. But situate that your answer is correct.
Positive, sir.
Bata,
The
sir.
answer of Regine is positive. As well as Mariel, positive. How about the
Positive,
rest?
sir.
Positive.
Positive infinity, sir.
Okay, unahon na to ang babaw. What's the limit above of the above function as x approaches
God,
to
sir.
0?
-2 square root of 5, sir.
Yes, -2 square root of 5. And that is your c, right? And
Yes,
it is
sir.
less than 0, negative. Now, if you consider the denominator, it becomes 0, right? So it should be infinite limits. So, left-hand side of 0, unsa ka nga value atong gamiton? Left-hand side of 0.
-1, sir.
Negative 1.
-1 raised to the power of 3, it's -1. It's also negative. Negative, negative, so your answer should be
Positive infinity,
positive
sir.
infinity.
Positive infinity.
And this is correct. Okay? Clear? Question? Any questions for examples that we consider? Wala pangutana? So I assume nasabtan. So let us have another theorem here. Okay. This theorem states that if the function f of x will have a limit of positive infinity, and the function g of x has the limit of any constant c, then it will be observed by the limit of the f of x. It will equal to positive infinity. Okay, positive infinity ni kini constant, any constant, whether it is positive or negative, the answer is positive infinity. And if the limit of your f of x is negative infinity, and the limit of your g of x is any constant, i-absorb po niya, mahimo siyang negative infinity. Ano lang kasayon? Okay? Sige daw. Saan man ni pag-answer ning una? If we consider this one, it will be -3. So it will be, kasi answer ani, a portion class. Everyone, what's the answer here?
-3 over 0.
Yes, -3 over 0. So that is -3 ang iyang c, right? So 3 minus x from the left-hand side of 3. If you say left-hand side of 3,
2, sir.
so you may get 2. So 3 minus 2, it is positive 1, right? So ang answer ani si answer diri, kini nga portion, sa limit ani niya? Negative, positive. So your answer should be negative infinity.
Negative, sir.
Negative, positive. It should be
Negative
negative infinity. Plus, what's the answer here? Kuha man na diretso. Substitute.
3.
God, sir. 3 over 5, sir.
3 over 5. And this is a constant, right? This is a constant. So asa siya mabilong? The first or the second? First or second?
Second, sir.
Second. So what's your answer here? The final answer?
Negative
Infinity.
Negative infinity. Anak ka sa yun. Di ba? Okay, now, it's your turn. Kayli, try to answer letter B. Kamu now, B. Kaya na kayo na. Go. I want to hear another student. Dili lang katong sige go answer. Mo participate po ang uban. Okay. Now, si answer ani. Kaya na, i-determine, di ba?
-5 over 0, sir.
So it is -5 ang imong C, no?
Yes, sir.
1 minus x, -1 minus x from the right-hand side of 1. Sa kang number ang right-hand side of 1? Ay, -1 day.
0.
0. You can use
sir.
0. Or you can have 1. You can have 2. 1 minus, let us use 0. The answer is -1. So, ang answer ani? Si answer, limit.
Positive infinity, sir.
Positive, negative, negative. So it should be positive infinity. Now, kini nga portion, si answer. Si limit niya as x approaches to -1 from the right-hand side.
4 over 3.
4 over -3, sir.
-3. 4 over -3.
So minus, minus. So it will be plus 4 over 3. No? Kaya negative mo nidaan. Naman negative 3 man eh. So it will be plus, right? Agree? Now, anyway, it will not matter whether it is positive or negative. It will be absorbed by this. So your answer should be positive infinity. Right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Let us proceed. Any questions so far before we proceed to the next theorem? Pangutana? Wala pangutana. So let us continue. Another theorem will state that if the limit of that f of x is a positive infinity and the limit of this is c or any constant, and if the c is greater than 0, it is positive infinity greater than 0. Moraragya po idea sa integer, positive, positive, it will be positive infinity. But if this is positive infinity, and if the answer of the limit of the g of x is negative, the answer will be negative infinity. Okay, positive infinity, negative constant, the answer is negative infinity. Okay? And the same thing will happen for the negative infinity kung negative infinity ang limit ni f of x. If this is positive, positive iyang kuan ani, so negative infinity, positive, so the answer will be negative infinity. If this is the limit of this is negative infinity and this is negative, 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 it becomes positive infinity. Clear? Am I making things clear, class, for these theorems?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let us consider this one. Okay, unsay limit ani? Okay, kani tagaanta mog time. Unsay limit ana nga portion?
Negative 2 over 0.
Negative 2 over 0. So let us be precise. What should be the answer? X minus 2 from the left-hand side of 2. Saka nga x atong gamiton. Left-hand side of 2.
1, sir. Positive 1.
Positive 1
1, sir.
minus 2. So it will be negative 1. Negative.
Yes, sir.
Negative ang c. Negative ang yang value sa g of x. So the answer here should be
Positive and
Positive
Very good.
infinity, sir.
positive
Positive
infinity.
infinity.
Now, here. What's the answer here? As x
Negative
approaches to 2.
1. Negative 1 over 5.
negative 1 over 5,
Negative
sir.
1
Very
over
good.
5, sir.
Negative 1 over 5. Now, sa ani karon? Product man eh. Positive, negative. Sige ngo niya. Kung positive, negative, the answer should be?
Negative.
Pero, ano? Negative infinity.
Negative.
Right? Okay. Karo? Karon, diri. Siri ninyo kani. Go. Dito sa kong story ha, I want your final answer. Can you tell me your final answer? I will be waiting for your answer. And you may argue among your classmates for what is the final answer if your answer are different. Okay? Anyone? Are you talking, Hannah? You may unmute your microphone if you want to share your answer. Okay, tabangan ta mo. Sa answer diri.
Negative infinity, sir.
Okay, that is 7 over 0, no? Positive ni daan. So x cube, left hand side of 0, sa left hand side of 0.
Negative 1, sir.
Negative
Negative 1.
You may use
Negative
negative 1. So it is negative 1 also. So positive, negative. So the answer here should be
Negative
Negative.
infinity, sir.
negative infinity. Now, here, what's the answer here?
Negative
2,
10
sir.
over 5. Negative 2, sir.
Negative
2, sir.
Negative 10 over 5 or negative 2.
Negative, sir.
Yes, sir.
Positive, sir.
Negative 10 over 5.
Positive
So your answer should be
infinity,
positive
sir.
infinity.
Positive infinity.
Ano ka sayon? Sayon na, di ba? No? Sayo na ba, class? Sayo naman, kaya ra magkaya na ninyo. Okay. Diri, kayo mo na matag-discuss. Muna ninyong pangansiran. You are going to answer problems 1 to 10. Okay? Kaya ka ni? Then, next meeting, I'll give you time to explain your answer from 1 to 10. Okay? So good. Magpa-volunteer ta kung isa ganahan mo answer sa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 10. Kung wala mo volunteer, ako yung mag-volunteer sa inyo. Okay? So your task tonight is to answer from 1 to 10. Clear? Is it
Yes,
clear,
sir.
class? So you answer from 1 to 10. And by the way, before we start our class next meeting, inyo sa i-present your answer. Then after that, we will proceed to the next topic, which is limit at infinity. That is our next topic. Any question, concerns for our discussion today?
Ay sir, kanang 1 to 10 sir ba mag-serve na as oral?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you sir.
And expect that probably within this week or next week, you will be having your quiz. Ano lang tingali na to ang infinite limits o limits at infinity. Okay? Kanang duha. Umanon sa nato ning limits at infinity ay hata mag-agatag og quiz. Okay? Is it clear, class? Because after we discuss the limit, we will have to discuss about derivative and integral. Indot na kayo ni diri, class. Lami kini nga mga discussion. Okay? I think that would be good for the day. Have a nice day, everyone, and see you again on probably Thursday, right?